Hello, lovely world. So I've made a lot of videos on this channel, and the ones that I love the most, I know you're probably sick and tired of me talking about them, but the ones that I love the most are related to either movies or TV shows or something that has to do with watching something in some facet, some way, shape, or form of another. It could be a YouTube video, it could be a movie that I've never seen before, it could be a movie I have seen before, it could be a TV show that I've seen before, it could be a brand new TV show I've never seen before. But it's always constant. It's always the things that I love watching. For example, last night I watched Eurovision, the story of Fire Saga, and it was really good. Now, there are some out there who would think it's extremely funny because of the fact that, it's got Will Ferrell in it, and he's always this comedic relief of some sort. But for me, and I'm not saying this is for every single human being on the planet, but for me, it just didn't have that, that laugh factor that all, comic movies or comedic movies have. Now, I'm not saying that if you were to see it, you would not laugh your head off, because there were some moments in the movie that were pretty funny. Now, I did not, like I said, I did not laugh. But there's just, there's just so freaking many movies out there that are funny. And if you watch that movie and you think it's hilarious, that's great for you. It just, for me, it just didn't have it. And I don't know why. And there's just so many other movies that I've seen that have been hilarious to me. And, excuse me. And there's so many other, TV shows that are very funny to me, and they may not be funny to you. Look, I'm not saying every single movie in the world, every single comedy movie is going to be funny for every single person. And I'm not saying, all the comedy films that I think are funny are going to be funny to you. But there's just so many, amazing, awesome stuff out there that, that you can laugh at, you can cry at, you can be angry at, all of that. And that includes video games too, because you can watch a video, or you can play a video game and watch the story unfold while you're playing it. And sometimes you'll laugh, sometimes you'll cry, sometimes you'll get pissed off, and that's okay. What I'm trying to say is, if you're watching Eurovision, or if you're watching any movie out there, or if you're watching any TV show, think about, what the actors or actresses or whatever it is had to go through to make that, show work. I'm not just saying, it's not just the actors and actresses, it's their stunt doubles, it's the producers, it's the directors, it's the executive producers, it's the sound guys, it's the whole crew, basically, that makes that movie the best that we think it can be. Now, I've seen thousands, if not lots and lots and lots of movies. I've seen lots and lots of, TV shows on Netflix and not on Netflix before. And I've talked about what my favorite shows are. And I may someday do another one that's updated, because there's, like I said, there's so many shows out there that I have not seen yet, TV shows. And there's so many films out there that I have not yet watched. But the ones that I have watched, whether it's a horror, whether it's a thriller, whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, drama, comedy, romance, independent, a lot of them I've liked, but not all of them I liked. It's your own interpretation of what you think of that specific movie. And, the Saw movies probably wasn't the greatest, series of movies that I've ever seen. But yet, some of them were better than the others. The Fast and Furious franchise. Some of the movies were great and others were not. You know, the Harry Potter films, all of them were great to me because I read every single book when I was a child and watched every single movie numerous times. You know, and it's not just the movies that have multiple films to it. It could be also, you know, standalone films that are great as well. I mean, I can't name one off the top of my head right now, but you know, there are films like that that are out there that are, you know, great. And you know, Baywatch, even though there was a TV series in the 70s and 80s, you know, the movie was just as good. I have not seen the TV show, but that's, you know, something that's interesting. You know, when I watched the Umbrella Academy season 1, great show. When I watched You, the first season of You, and I'm in the process of watching season 2, great show. You know, anything that has to do with comic book shows, like whether it's Arrow, Flash, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, Supergirl, all of those shows, Legends of Tomorrow, are great shows to watch. You know, there's new shows out there too that are just as amazing. Hey, Walking Dead, even though like after season, let's say season 7 or maybe halfway through season 8 was good, and then it just kind of fell flat. Because that's when Rick left, was halfway through season 8, if I remember correctly. Anyways, you know, like, I know some people think Big Bang Theory is a waste of space, but I thought the show was great. You know, American Horror Story, still going on. I haven't watched it past season 5, I believe. No, season 4. You know, it could be a good show, because there's like 8 seasons now. You know, Black Lightning, that was also a great show. I mean, there's just so many great shows out there that should be talked about that aren't, and great movies that are that should be watched but aren't. You know, I mean, I could go on and on about all of these. You know, great YouTube videos, great YouTube channels, all of that. It's just sometimes, you know, things don't work out the way we want it to in that specific movie, or that specific TV show, or that specific YouTube video, or that specific video game that we really like. But yet, it always grasps onto us and makes us look at how great it could be, or how funny it could be, or how sad it could be, or how angry it could be. I've watched a couple Friday the 13th films, and I've watched a couple of the, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and you know, some of them are greater than others. I will admit that. You know, Final Fantasy, another great, you know, another movie series that some are greater than others, even though there's only 5 of them. And you know, Fantastic Beasts could use a little bit of work, and maybe they're trying to figure that out. But the first 2 weren't, you know, the most amazing, you know, related to Harry Potter movies, but something will happen, and hopefully Avatar 2 will be just as great as Avatar 1. I mean, there's just so many, you know, shows and movies, and I could go on and on and on about this, but there's just, I love talking about movies. I love talking about TV shows. I love talking about YouTube videos or watching YouTube videos on this channel. I love talking about video games, even though I've only played a handful of them. And there's just so much more to watching these movies and watching these TV shows and watching these YouTube videos and playing these video games and stuff like that. But I'm not going to dive too deep into that, so I'm going to let you guys go today. I want to wish Olivia Holt a happy birthday. Who else's birthday was it today? Irene Walton's, Amy Marie Garter's, and Jessica Negri's birthday today. And anyone else who's celebrating a birthday today, I just want to wish you a happy birthday from me to you. And please just do what you want to do indoors. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, bye-bye.